to Paranormal the New Normal. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always, here to try and make the world seem a little more normal, but these days that's hard to do. And as always, I am joined by another amazing guest. This week, I have Melissa Bryan from Outlaw Life Psychic Enterprises, and she also has a few other things she does, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But first things first, how you doing today, Melissa?
I'm doing.
Well, that's all we really can do. But so the first question I ask everybody is, what got you into the paranormal?
Oh my gosh, age 21. Seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, knowing without knowing how I got there, and ancestors had to come and talk me down from spirit, no less. Said, "You're going to be a shaman." Uh, what? Y'all want that? You pull the strings. Well, here we are. Oh, I love it though. I love what I do. I love my work. I love my work. I love my work, and I love my clients. Yes, I do.
All right. So it didn't interest you from a young age. You actually kind of got sprung into it a little bit later in life.
I kind of got sprung into it a little bit later in life. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as you get into it eventually, it's always a good life to be in. So,
Yeah, yeah. No kidding. Spirit has been my absolute rock, my foundation from a young age, and they have been there for me through everything.
well, I'm glad to hear that. Which we'll get into that in a little bit. But questions I
Okay.
got about that right there. But I just blanked on the second question. Always.
That's
Well,
okay. Don't worry about it.
while I'm thinking of it, when you say your ancestors came to you,
Yes.
how, how did that happen? Was it audio?
Well,
Was it visual? Or was it both?
they kind of just sat me down like, like a bunch of them, like my 16th great grandfather, my 16th great grandmother, my some of my other ancestors from spirit, and told me, what our family has been from the earliest times all the way to present time. And it was actually pretty interesting because I do a lot of genealogical work too. So, it kind of painted the picture for me of where things were going to go.
Which makes sense. And when you say genealogical research, like, is that like your actual career, or?
It's some of what I do. Can we say what I do right there? That's everything I've done over since the time I was 13 years old. And there's more where
13.
that come from.
13 years old.
From the time I was 13. When I found the family tree and the family Bible, I think I was hooked because I had heard so many things throughout the years, from my family, and a lot of whispering about this, that, and the other. And, it kind of pointed me in the direction I needed to go.
All right, which that's always a good thing when you're getting pointed in the right direction in life, because a lot of us
Mhm.
don't get that pointing and trying
And
to figure it out.
then my great aunt Irene, who I was very, very close to when I was young, she passed when I was 14, and she showed me all of the trees she had developed. And I connected that with what I already had. And then there were so many other people that came into my path that pointed me in the direction I needed to go. And one of them was Spotted Bear. He was a White Mountain Apache medicine man, medicine worker, light worker, elder. Bless him in spirit. I know he's watching over. Um, he told me exactly where it looked, said, "You're native and this is exactly where you're going to find your ancestry." I goes, okay. And even when I was at Taos Pueblo, when I was very, very young, probably maybe 12, 13, no, more than that. Yeah, about 12, 13 years old. The elders pulled me aside and said, "Do you know anything about your ancestry?" Because I thought when they pulled me aside, I thought, I'm in deep, you know whaty, Dutchy, and I'm gonna get thrown out of here. God dang, what in the I do? Because I literally looked at their rules book. I goes, no, no way, no, not going there. Oh, hell, no. Not gonna do that. Nope. I go, God darn it! I haven't done any of these things, nor would I. Why in the hell are they pulling me aside? Because it says on the board there, if the elders pull you aside, you're in some pretty big trouble. And I go, oh no, I'm in trouble for something I don't even know what I've done. And they said, oh no, you're not in any trouble. I go, I'm not? Okay. I was kind of a little bit shocked, going, well, what the hell are they pulling me over for? You know? And they said, do you know anything of your ancestry? I goes, no, not a thing. And they said, you are the elder that is even before us. I kind of looked at them like they were smoking something. I said, what are you on? My whole thing was kind of, huh? You know? uh, I was kind of like, what are these dudes smoking? Whatever it is, it must be good. I didn't know what to make of it. I was kind of shocked, And they said, you're going to find your ancestry. You are native. And I goes, okay, cool. I'll agree with whatever you say. Because I was taught early in life, don't disrespect your elders. Don't, question what they say, because whatever they're saying, it's going to be truth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
And so it's like, no, don't question the elders. No, they must know what they're talking about. You know, I mean, I thought they were kind of, on something, smoking something, whatever, Uh, I didn't quite know what to make of it. I kind of laughed at first. No way, you know. But no, I understand now, and I know exactly what it is, and I'm actually pretty proud of it.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what did it mean? Like, are you like your
Yeah,
ancestors were elders,
I
basically?
yes, I am 16th generation Iroquois. I am 14th generation, I think, if my records serve me correct. Cherokee. I'm 9 generations by marriage. Navajo. I'm no, one, two, 6 generations. Uh, like half cousin to the Dakota people. I'm let's see, I think 10 generations by marriage Apache. Um, trying to think. There's so many things, including Wicca and Gypsy and Druid, and I mean, on all my lines, I've been up the family tree, this, that, and the other. I know every tree, every branch, every twig, every leaf, everything.
And how many just because genealogy and ancestry is always like interesting me. How many generations have you actually gone back on your tree?
16. Come on. You guys are in trouble. Come on. Inside. Now. Sorry, my dogs. So I'm taking you with me. There we go. Sorry about that.
But it's all good. So 16 generations. That's
Yeah. And
around
then,
1500. that- That's around 1500 years, is it not?
all the way back to 1630, Virginia.
Okay. And there are
Yeah.
15 okay, well, I guess there could be 15 generations in that time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a disc that connects those generations all the way up to pre-Christ, and I found that in Utah one year. We were going through Cedar City when I went to go see the picture of my great grandfather, which I have copies of too. And they said, I looked at the big tree that they had in this one shop. I goes, that's mine, 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 that's mine. I goes, I can connect all these names practically to every one of my lines.
wow. That's crazy that you have that much information about your past. I mean, I couldn't imagine digging that far back and like what you might find.
And then I also have records to prove to my most recent past life as well. Yeah, I actually found myself. Go figure, right?
What? When was it? If you don't mind me asking.
1800s Arizona and New Mexico. I was Navajo from Cañon de Che. Barboncito was my father. Manuelito was my uncle. Delavina Maxwell Jaramillo is my mother. Well, some say my sister, but she was my primary parental figure because when we were taken by Kit Carson and the Ute people uh, out of Cañon de Che and walked all the way to Fort Sumner, somewhere, we didn't go to Fort Sumner right away. Myself and my mother and several others, we were taken to Santa Fe to the girls' school there and re-educated. Our hair was cut, all this, you know, stuff you hear about now. Yeah, we witnessed some pretty not so savory things, shall we say.
Y- Yeah, I'm sure there are some gruesome things that were involved with that. To
Uh,
put it best I can put it on the show. But
I went to the place where the girls' school used to stand. It is now a hotel and resort, and the shops are where the school rooms were. I
hmm
stuff. I was literally like pulled in, psychically pulled in, and I turn around and there's the nun that taught my class. And was she mad? Was she ever ticked off? I dangled my razor going, nah, 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 look what I got, look what I got.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So, have you had any paranormal experiences
Oh,
beyond this?
I've
Oh,
got books full. I had to write a book just to tell everything. I had to
and
write
are
it,
they?
and I was
I'm
going
sorry.
to publish it through Kindle Direct Publishing, but I've hit a roadblock with that at the moment. Trying to,
Okay.
but I've kind of hit a roadblock with it right now. It'll probably take me the rest of the month to work through it.
Yeah. All right. Well, have all your experiences been with spirits, or have you had any other experiences?
Had experiences with Bigfoot. Oh yes, and I have pictures and video to prove it. I've had pictures. Oh, God, I've had experiences with Skinwalkers, Chupacabras. Oh, are they noisy little things? I one time, and I recount this in my book. One morning, my husband and I were woken up by these two things screaming at each other. One was under our bedroom window, and the other was maybe 1,000, 2,000 feet out in another yard somewhere. I couldn't see either of them, but anyway, they were screaming back and forth at each other. I opened the window. I goes, knock it off, go to bed. And they go, oh, mom. I go, yeah, no, 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 no. Don't you all mom me. You go to bed. Do you understand me? You're waking up the neighborhood. They go, no, but. I go, no, 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 but go to bed. Okay. I go, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you go to bed. You understand me? And they quit screaming at each other and walked off, I guess.
Did you happen to get a look at them to see what they look like?
Wasn't able to. No, I was too tired. It was like 3, 4 in the morning. You know.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I was just because there's a highly debated topic of what chupacabras look like.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to look full on, but from what I understand, they're like dog type creatures. I've seen pictures of them on TV, and that's about right, I would say. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because I mean, well, depends when you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there is the more dog-looking one, then there's the one that looks completely extraterrestrial. That's the one they had in Puerto Rico back when it first
Yeah.
started.
No, the dog ones are all out here in the Southwest. Yeah, no, the dog ones are all out here in the Southwest.
All right,
Uh,
well,
but I mean, it was funny because it seems like they were willing to obey me. It's like, I guess the critter kind, I'm mom. You know, I just kind of get to tell them, go to bed, knock it off. You're waking me up. You kidding me? And
Well,
well, I haven't seen Bigfoot, but I have pictures of tracks in my yard. I've seen their habitat about 2,000 feet from here over by Klamath River. And I have pictures of that. I have pictures of, in fact, video also of the tracks in my yard. I've got a picture of what looks like a Bigfoot literally smooshed his face up against the glass on my trailer doors.
really, and I mean they've been known to do that. They've been known to do that, like try to look in a house or something like that. So, uh,
Glass. I go, okay, I know who's been here.
yeah, which I mean that's awesome. I mean I wish I had a Bigfoot in my yard.
All good. I, um, let's see. I've seen shapeshifters. I've seen golly, what practically haven't I seen? I mean, beyond a demon and well, actually no, I take that back. I have. I think I saw a vampire one time in Tucson, Arizona. He was up at the bus stop, saw me, glared at me, and opened up his cape and hissed at me. And because I'd learned how to hiss from one of my cats, I out hissed him. He goes, I go, yeah, yeah, bye. And he scuttled off, tail between his legs. I go, yeah, that's right. I can out hiss you.
You said you saw a skinwalker, and that's kind of got me curious.
It looked, I, God, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but kind of like, memory serves me right. He looked almost cartoonish, if you
Yeah,
will, cartoonish, and like almost like daisy flower petals, cartoonish around its head, and kind of rounded lion's ears, and a big grinny smile, and kind of animal shaped body, and I go nope, and close the door. I said no, 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 I'm not dealing with that.
yeah. I mean,
Like
did you?
no, it
So did it look human-esque, or did it look like a dog, or?
looked like almost like a cross between a dog and a lion, but cartoonish.
I'm trying to picture the cartoonish part, and that's where I'm coming. Which, like, I could picture it, but I'm sure it's nothing like what I'm picturing because I'm picturing like pure
It
Looney Tunes cartoonish.
it kind of looked like a cartoonish type lion with a mane and all that, but the mane almost like daisy pet flower petals, if you will, rounded and like rounded lion's ears and this big cartoonish chin, and I'm going, oh no, no, I'm not dealing with that. Bye, and shut the door. I said, nope, we're not dealing with that.
You didn't watch to see where it went?
No, I was like, if I think that thing's gonna come in here, oh no, 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 no.
All right. Well, have you have you had any experiences with aliens or extraterrestrials?
Yes, we used to watch alien crafts fly and chase each other over top of my former property in New Mexico, over in El Rito. I saw some things over in the pass between southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. Um, I saw a couple things oh at one of my other former homes. I saw um gosh, I've seen them kind of all over
Have you ever actually seen an extra like a alien life form, or has it just been the ships?
ships.
I mean, I that's same with me, but I had to ask. I have to ask.
Alien life form. I know some people said, "Oh, I'm an alien." It's like, yeah, in your wildest dreams, I can read you. You're not an alien, trust me.
But could they possibly be starseeds?
Maybe I'm not discounting that point. No, but some have told me, "Oh, you're a starseed." I go, maybe. I don't really know. I don't have that much, experience with that subject.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what I've heard about starseeds, usually if you are one, you just have a feeling that you're not from Earth.
Right. Well, I'm not from era. Let's put it that way. I'm not from this time period.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
from a
mean,
I'm from the 1870s. I know that for a fact, and all my records prove it. I even have photographic evidence to prove it, and I have big time memories. All that I put in my book. If I never get my book going, trust me, you're going to read everything.
I can't wait. But so, what was the most? Well, actually, let me ask you this first before I go to that next question. What made you want to look into your past lives?
I had experiences. I had a nightmare that started out. I was riding with Billy the Kid and some of his men. Men on horseback behind us were shooting at us. I was screaming, crying in the dream. I was screaming, crying, almost hysterical, just really, really upset. And I remember him shouting my name and saying, go home, ride for home, ride for home, ride for home. I said, no, I want to stay with you. And he goes, ride for home. And I said, okay, And I did. I rode up the bluff and watched as these men were just, shouting and shooting at them and at him, and these men, and, that we were riding with. And, you know, and so I did finally ride for home. I was thankful he came home alive and safe, but I later encountered another cousin who gave me a picture of the very place that. Oh, okay. I'll deal with that in a minute. um, that basically that the dream occurred at, and my jaw hit the floor. I goes, "That's the exact place I saw in the dream." And I would wake up, you know, sometimes crying, sometimes screaming, sometimes in a cold sweat, because it was terrifying. I was a young kid. I didn't know anything about this. And so that's what really started me on this quest to figure out what the heck was going on. And as time went on, I found out not only was I married to Billy the Kid, yes, there's a marriage record. Yes, there's provenance behind it. Family record says everything. And I have a book by a now deceased cousin of mine that wrote a book about it, and I found the name, I found the photo, and when I saw the photo, it like stopped me. I'm dead, it just stopped me right in my tracks. And all these memories came flooding back to me just like a tidal wave. With my abilities, that's the way it is. When information comes to me like a tidal wave, I have to either give the message or write the message down immediately and get everything, or I lose the entire message. So I wrote everything down as fast as I could. And then when I got that one book, I checked my notes against the book. I go, oh my, you know, with the photo and the documentation, even census records, birth, marriage, death, the whole thing. I mean, I was just kind of flabbergasted that, this was real. This was not, anything I could, in any way joke about, because it's the truth.
Yeah, which I mean that right there was amazing. I was actually supposed to meet with a past life regressionist about a month ago to dig into my past lives, but she had a family emergency and we couldn't do it. I gotta actually reach out to her and reschedule because that interests me so much if I can find out about my past lives. Like I want to see where I came from, kind of. But back to Skinwalker for a second, because I'm curious. What do you think is the origin of the Skinwalker? Like,
It is an old Navajo legend, and it's supposed to be like an evil, I don't know what you want to call this, witch, individual, whatever. Um, and it's taboo to really talk about it, but because I'm not actually within the culture at this time, um, I can kind of a little bit more freely talk about it. These are, I guess, if you will, I guess from what their culture says, evil beings that are commanded by an evil, whether it's a witch or an individual or whatever, um, that these beings are sent to harm someone. But I didn't feel any direct threat from it because it's like, okay, I know how to handle this and I know how to deal with it because in my last life, I was born at Canyon de Chelly. That is my actual soul home. That is my real home. Um, so I kind of knew how to deal with it. It's not anything I can exactly explain, but you like don't talk about it, you don't address it, you don't, um, I guess, like mess with it.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. And that's always what I've heard. You don't,
Don't acknowledge it.
yeah, you don't look at it even if you don't want it to know you're looking, and then it'll be attracted to you because you're looking.
Right. And I didn't want that coming to my family, so we
Mhm.
with this.
All right. Um, any experience with Thunderbirds? Just out of curiosity, since I always wanted to ask that to someone who's related to Native American ancestry.
Oh, I never have. And that's one of the things I've never encountered. Not that I don't want to, I would love to see one. I truly would love to see one.
Now, let me
Uh,
ask you this, though. Do you think Thunderbirds are just pterodactyls, and that's what they call them, Thunderbirds, because of the size of their wings?
yes, I believe it. And from what I understand, their scream sounds just really loud. From what I understand, from what I've heard, not what I've seen. I've never seen one, but I want to. Um, I love Navajo Res, and I love their people. I adore their culture. Um, and that is where I really truly feel the most at home.
I mean, yeah, which makes sense on your based on your past lives. That makes 100% sense. So, trying to think of what else out there in the desert that you could have seen. Well,
I
actually,
think minus the Thunderbird and I guess that's it. Demon. I've never, no kidding. I don't think I ever want to, but I've heard of them. Not that I want to have anything to do with it, mind you, but I've never seen a demon. I've never seen a thunderbird. Those are the only two things. Well, maybe except for a Mothman that I've never seen.
I was
Never.
gonna say I doubt Mothman's out there in the desert.
I've never seen Thunderbird, Goatman, Dogman, um, Mothman, or um, a demon. Other than that,
I I was gonna ask about dogmen actually, because I mean, dogmen are known to roam the deserts.
I've never seen it. If they do, I've never seen it. But I did have at my former home in New Mexico. I did have a devil or one of those black doggy things. Oh God, I can't remember.
Oh, a
Yeah.
shag they're called, or
Uh,
or a hellhound, for lack of a better word.
yeah, I had a hellhound of my own. I named him Sammy. He was seriously the sweetest pup. He's attached to the property there, but he's the sweetest pup. uh, he kind of became one of my own pack, as it were. And I would feel him sometimes, lay on my bed and roll over and get tummy scritches. It's like, oh, tummy, 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 tummy time, baby puppy tummy time. Oh yeah, more right there, mama. Oh, he was so sweet. Oh, I just loved him. Yeah, no, I'm totally. When it comes to critters, forget it. My heart's gone.
Yeah, same here, but 100%. And I doubt you've ever seen a lake or sea monster. I'm guessing too, being in the desert out there.
seen one. I've heard of them. I'd love to go to Loch Ness in Scotland. I have a feeling I'd get a Nessie kiss. Nessie'd probably come right up out of the water and go, "Mwah," right on my cheek. It's like, well, to you too.
So, tell me about Outlaw Life Psychic Services. Like, what
Uh,
services do you guys actually provide?
yes, I'm a psychic medium. I do readings. I currently work with Pendulum and my guy David. Bless him, he is amazing. I have to give a shout out to him every time I do a podcast. And with you guys, for guys, like, yes, my guy David. He's awesome. Big shout out to him. He pulls all the records for my readings for my clients, and he helps me get the job done. And I couldn't say enough good things about him. It's really, one part of this is to honor my ancestors, my spirit ancestors, especially my Old West Outlaws, who are my rock, my foundation, my absolute. They're rock steady with me, They
Yeah, of course.
with me, and they've saved my life a couple of times, all accounted for in my book. And the other part is for the accuracy that I feel that I have, which is right around 90%. I never say 100% because that would be a lie. No psychic, no medium, ones like me are never 100% correct at any one time. Because we're still human. We're still human. We still make mistakes. We misinterpret information. We don't always get it right.
Of course. I mean, no one can get it right all the time. That's impossible.
Right. And so I leave 10% for margin of error. So that's why I say 90%, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. No.
All right.
Stop, Billy.
Well,
No.
what?
Sorry, my
What?
dog.
That's okay. So, what made you start this business?
Well, I didn't have anything else I could really do, because of one thing and another. Billy, shush. Sorry, my dog. Oh, darn it. Um, And, I had tried different things and nothing really worked. So I figured, well, use the one thing I've always had, and that's my ability with spirit.
Right. And you figured what did your spirit guides tell you it was time to start helping other people, or did you just want to do it yourself?
I just wanted to do it myself because it was the only thing I felt I had left.
All right, which I understand that. That's part of the reason I wanted to start this podcast is just to get people like you to have their word out there and
Right,
to
exactly.
help them out in a way.
hmm
So, so what would you say has been the most interesting job you took since you started the business?
Well, I love doing missing persons cases, finding missing objects, bringing home the missing, and I've done that for several cases now. And I think one of my greatest was the Kit Carson co-op robbery. I was living in Taos, New Mexico, or outside of there, when it happened. And because they robbed from me too, I got mad. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. That's crossing even my line. And so all the co-op president had to say is we were robbed, and bingo, there was David handed me the records going, look at this. Here's all the information they're going to need. So I got home, wrote it all down, called the co-op president and said, here's what you need to know. And, sure enough, about year and a half later, the whole thing came out in the newspaper, and my husband read it to me. I'm sitting there with my jaw on the floor going, you mean I actually got it that correctly? Holy, I'd only gotten like 3 small points, wrong, either wrong or like didn't fully grasp those little points, but I got everything else right on the nail head. I'm going, wow. I was just like, I was shocked. I'm going, oh my gosh. And so the case goes on. turns out that the people that did it, I had walked right by the main suspect. I made eye contact with her right there at the co-op meeting for, the president and the staff and the, I think, board of directors and the co-op members, which were the community and all that. And when I realized I'd walked right past her, I shivered. I go, oh my gosh. I mean, I literally shivered. I was just, oh my gosh.
I'm sure. I mean, it's just like those people who like meet a serial killer at some point in their lives and they don't realize until like 20 years down the road. And
Yeah.
it's just like I'm sure it's creepy as could be. So.
Oh yeah, it was really creepy. And she kind of gave me this little smirk. I goes, yeah, I can read you, And yeah, it was really, really creepy. So yeah. Say hi, Billy. Say hi. Say hi, Bandit.
Oh.
That's Bandit. That's Billy.
No, they're cuties.
Say hi. Say hi, boys. Say hi,
I got a mastiff puppy that would love to play with you two. But
what breed do you have?
North American Mastiff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, heart. Bye, heart. I'm a moosh. Oh, forget it. Critters and little ones and critters. Yeah, I'm soft.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I had to kick my damn kid out here before I started the podcast. Otherwise, she likes to crawl over me and annoy the fuck out of me while I'm doing it.
I don't mind. I've got a 5-year-old nephew. Believe me, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, I lock the door so she can't get in. That's what I do.
Oh, no, I don't mind. She can talk to me all she wants. It's okay. I'm an auntie. That's what I do. Huh? Yeah, Mama's an auntie. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
is it outside again? Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask you this. I mean, I know they're not out as far west as you, but what do you know about Wendigos?
Wendigos, I don't. All I know is I avoid them like the plague. From what little I've heard of them, they say avoid them like the plague. It's like, yeah, no problem.
Well, yeah, they usually are. They typically are in the colder areas anyway, not really down there in the south. So
yeah.
Well, what was the scariest encounter you had with a spirit while either with yourself or while working?
Oh God, scariest. We were at home at my old property in New Mexico, and I watched myself and my husband watch as my cousin's back, my cousin who used to live with us, his back literally got scratched and torn open to bleeding, looked like a pentagram. I'm going, oh my gosh. So I laid over him and I told whatever it was to get off him and leave him alone and to leave our family, leave our home, get out and never return. When I get my power on, that's it. I get my power on. And I'm like, no, I don't play that game.
Yeah. And that would be pretty scary right there, seeing someone get a pentagram carved in their back. But
yeah. And I have a picture of it to prove it. Stop.
Oh, I'm sure.
Stop. I mean it, Billy. Stop. You want to be on camera again? He says he wants to be on camera again. You want to say hi, huh? You want to say hi? Yeah, you want to say hi.
Well,
yeah. Silly.
I also know you were in a View Beyond magazine this month, were you not?
Yes, I was. Yes.
And were they writing on you because of your services you offer, or because?
Well, that and for the fact that I am a psychic medium, I do own my business. I am, as good as they come for whatever reason. But anyway, yeah. I've been doing this for 44 years.
And do you read other people's past lives too, or just
Yes, I do. I read charts, I read energies, I read auras, I read photos, I read objects, land, buildings, you name it, I read it.
So when you've done past life regressions or
Well, it's
for other
not
people,
regression, it's just I read their Akashic charts and I read their energy and I put two and two together.
okay. Uh, what was the most interesting like past life that someone had, like a king or
Um, I've encountered Billy the Kid. I've encountered some of our group members. I still talk with some of them pretty regularly, in fact. Stop. Paulina Maxwell is still my best friend in this life. Yeah, go figure. My best friend several years ago, who passed of a massive heart attack from diabetes, she was my mother in my past life, Delavina Maxwell Jaramillo. And I miss her every damn day. There's not a day goes by.
I'm sure.
No, you're not going out right now. No, I know. You're a lucky dog. I know. You're a lucky dog. Yes, I know. Anyway, sorry. He's paying attention. But anyway, so I've run into many, many of my friends from my past lives, and God, I know so many. There have been so many of them. I couldn't name just one.
All right. Well,
What?
all right. Well, any,
Stop.
uh, are there any other experiences you've had that you want to talk about, or
Well, Queen Mary. Yeah, I know every spook, spirit, and ghost on that thing. I've been in there God, a number of times, and every time I have another experience. Every single time without fail. We've had footsteps following us. I've seen and talked with the apparition of a little girl. It might be Jackie, it might not be, I'm not real sure. I've seen Sarah, who was murdered down in the dressing rooms, um, almost like a locker room, if you will, by the pool. She startled me, I'll tell you what. Then, God, I've seen sailors and people in period clothing, and it's really an interesting place.
if I'm
And
not
then
mistaken, the Queen Mary's a ship, right? If I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
ship, yes,
Okay.
Long Beach Harbor. Hmm?
Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm like I believe it's a ship. I'm not 100% positive.
Yes, it is. It's a ship, and
Interesting.
that place is 110% haunted, guaranteed haunted. And it has been done over and over and over again. Everyone that comes there has an experience.
Interesting. Very interesting. So,
And
do you work with cops at all to solve like
yes,
missing person?
actually, I just finished one case early this morning, and that one, a little girl is missing from. God, I'd have to look again, but anyway, um, I get the sense now. I don't mean to override their case at all. This is just information I pick up from spirit. So, law enforcement, don't ding me for this. I don't mean to mess up y'all's investigation. The image of the little girl that's missing, she is with someone that she knows, and I think they might be down either in Santa Monica, California, near where I was born, and Los Angeles, California, where I was raised, particularly in the downtown, um, old Los Angeles area, Barrio Los Angeles was the one place I picked up specifically. And I know these areas very, very intimately. No one there will touch me wrong because, yeah, no, I know the place like the back of my hand. And I know a lot of the ghosts from a lot of the places that have been done again and again and again. Yeah. Um, so basically, I picked up on her energy and where they were at, and I said, "Here's where you need to look." I hope I'm right on this. I can only give you what I get. This is what Spirit is showing me. This is the information I'm picking up on. This is what her energy shows me. I hope to heaven I am right. And I
Yeah.
pretty much am, because when I go with my gut and I go with my first impression, it's usually right.
All right. Well, I love that because one of my first guests in this show is an author, and she wrote a book about a boy who can see spirits since he
Mm-hmm.
almost died when he was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and sh in the beginning of the book, he's helping cops find somebody, like, that was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I love the idea of that, and I know that I have other podcast friends who have taken astral projection classes during COVID with New York City police detectives, like, trying to learn how to do it
Wow.
themselves to help solve cases.
I actually do that naturally. It's part of what is ingrained in me. I can't escape it. I can't just shut it off. It's not like that. This is not like a light switch on, off, on, off. No, I can't do that. Because that causes a psychic to actually burn out. When
Yeah.
someone says, "Oh, shut it off and get rid of it," blah, blah, no, it's not that simple.
Well, of
That's
course not.
not
I mean,
what
yeah.
we're about. And um, I just love what I do. I love my work. I love my clients, and even more so, the law enforcement agency I'm working with here in Cali for that case. They are amazing. Their people are, and I gotta give a shout out to them. I love them with my whole heart. I truly do. They're part of me now, and I absolutely love them.
Right on, which that's the way it should be. I mean, they should
I
be
love
treating
them,
you with
and what's more, they believe me. Yay!
well, in this day and age with a spiritual awakening going on, I mean, a lot more people are open to it, which that's something I always ask everybody too that's in the psychic medium world. Because as we all know, there is a spiritual awakening that's gone on in the last
Right.
few few years at least, but
Yes.
I've had people say they think it started 5 years ago, and I've had people say they think it started in 2012.
Hmm.
Which way do you lean?
I think it started about 2012 myself. Yeah. Because I noticed it was just kind of starting to open up. It really wasn't all the way there yet, but yeah, it's starting to open up now where it's like that thing is kind of thing is, more and more accepted. Yes.
Which it's weird because I never even thought of 2012 until someone said it on my show, and I was like, "The Mayan calendar? Does that have something to do with it?" Like,
It's possible. It is truly possible. And, I love working with law enforcement. One of my very biggest cases was also the Holy Cross Hospital convent fire. It was an old building. They were looking at refurbishing it, put in shops and offices and whatnot. And I was looking at putting in a shop of my own because I wanted to kind of own a little small general store. And I felt so warm and so welcomed. And it felt so good. And I mean, the energy of the land, the property, all that, the building. And I just felt so welcome. Like, they're like, come in. And it was just such a nice energy. And then my husband called me one day and said, "The convent's on fire." I go, "No, you're kidding. You gotta be kidding. No, that can't be possible." So I turn on the news. Sure enough, it was on fire. I sat down and cried. I mean, I was distraught beyond myself, beside myself. And it was just really hard to see. And it turns out that there was a murder there. And when I went to go say goodbye to the building, to pay my final respects, because they were going to tear it down, which they eventually did, there was an older nun and a younger man, about present day. And I asked her, "Was he murdered here? Was he killed here?" And she said, "Yes." She nodded, yes. And I asked him, "Were you the one murdered?" He nodded his head. I said, "Okay, go ahead and take him over." And so I watched as she actually crossed this young man over, which was really nice to see. He's at peace now, which makes me happy. And so I told the security guard what I saw. And I called law enforcement. I said, look, this is what I saw there. This is what happened. You're going to find him in this building. And sure enough, year and a half later, it comes out in the paper, and all the information I gave them was dead on.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
that hit me. I mean, I was just, huh? Again? Really? Whoa. You know, I mean, it was a shock.
damn kids. But
And they got, what's more, they got the people that did it. Because I had described the people that I saw as doing this, sure enough, right to the letter.
wow, that's. I mean, all the people that did things to me in my life, I wish I could see like what the hell, who did what. Like I, so many times I question like who took something from me, and I can't figure out which of my friends would do it. But it's so.
Speaking of which, who's the man? The male energy? I don't know who this is. Who's the male energy? You know someone real close, male energy.
My father, possibly one of my grandfathers.
No, this is someone else, someone a little bit younger than them. Um, you said someone took something from. Yeah, I'm seeing a younger male energy, younger male individual.
My made my best friend and ex roommate Brian, who died in a fire.
Could be, possibly, yeah. It's either him or someone
Oh, oh,
else
here she
like
is.
close to you.
Here,
Oh my gosh. Hi, Pumpkin. Hi, sweetheart. Is that your puppy?
that's my 9-month-old. That's my not 8-month-old mastiff.
Oh, hi, sweetheart. Oh my gosh, aren't you cute? Oh my gosh. Oh, she's adorable. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
she is, but she thinks she's a lap dog when she's 80 pounds.
Sounds like my boys. Oh, you're adorable. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, love. Oh, aren't you precious? You're so
Nice.
cute.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, you're
somebody
not a
want to
lap
talk
dog.
to me. Oh, you silly. You silly. Are you trying to sit on Daddy's lap? Are you trying
No,
to
she's
sit on Daddy?
no. She climbed on the bed with my daughter. That's what she did.
Oh. Oh, how sweet.
But mastiff Josh Dixonson, not a chocolate lab.
Oh.
Um, but no. I mean, it could have been Brian that you're sensing. He died in a fire like
Could be.
6 years ago now.
Could
And
be.
I mean, he was my best friend, and we were roommates for a long time before I moved away, and then the trailer burnt down that we lived in. But
Oh.
I don't know who else it could be, though. I mean,
Yeah, because I was seeing a younger male energy involved with something that was taken. So, yeah.
yeah, which I mean, and he was really sick though when he passed, and like
Oh.
the cops couldn't figure out if he started the fire or the fire just or if he fell asleep while the oven was on and that just set the house on fire.
Yeah. I feel oven. Yeah.
Munchkin.
Little ones and critters. Critters and little ones. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, pumpkin. Hi. Hi,
Enough, Munchie.
pumpkin. My
But yeah,
sweetheart.
uh, so did he have a message or
Basically, he says he's sorry for whatever happened.
hey,
And
but
the
hey, but-
fire, yeah, he says, yeah, that was me. You know, it was an accident, but that was me.
well, I mean, he took his own life in the process, so
Unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, he was really sick though, and like
Yeah.
I mean, he liked to drink, so I think he
Yeah.
was sick. He was sick with a liver problem, so.
Right.
But, well, why don't you tell the listeners where they can find you if they want to know more about you and where they could possibly find your book when it comes out?
Absolutely. It is https://OL PSYENT.com, OLScient.com, and possibly Kindle, Amazon, and other book retailers whenever it does come out.
Well, that sounds great, and I look forward to it coming out.
Definitely.
I look forward to it coming out, but I will say, as all my listeners know, you could find me on Paranormal The New Normal / Maniacal Musings podcast for the Facebook group. You can find me on on Twitter and the Gram as at Juggalo Bastard, and you could find me on YouTube as Paranormal New Normal, or you can find me on TikTok as Juggalo Bastard Podcast. And I want to thank Melissa for coming on. She has
Thank you
been
for having me.
her and her two puppies have been very entertaining guests, and I look forward to this episode coming out a lot.
Same here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. And thank you to all my listeners, and thank you to all my watchers. I will catch you guys next time.